So, welcome everyone. It's a beautiful evening, really powerful energy from the winter solstice. We're still, winter solstice was yesterday. We're still feeling it. It's really intense, really beautiful energy. That's just light. We're just being blasted with light. So, I last night I was blessed to participate in and help facilitate a meditation and gathering with some people from the Soulful Work community, which is the community I facilitate, and my dear soul sisters, Elle Nauman and Cheryl Horton. And we just ate together, this healthy, just potluck food at Cheryl's home. And it was just beautiful space. Then we did a guided meditation that Cheryl guided us in. And then we went outside and did a fire release that I guided people in and did an activation with Pleiadian Energy. And if for those of you who aren't familiar, the Pleaidians are multi-dimensional beings. They seeded the human race, really. They're our ancestors, and they're filled with light. They're filled with just unconditional love. It's said that they kind of look like us. They look like humans, and they're, as we're going through this massive energy shift, awakening, embodying our light, moving into higher levels of frequency and higher dimensions, they're watching us and they're helping us. So when I was, connecting with every morning, I just, bring in my own higher guidance. And I was asking for who was with me and who how to kind of do the solstice meditation with what types of energies. And it was Pleiadian. And of course, I deeply connect with that energy, probably because it's in my blood deeply. So we're going to do that again this evening. And, somebody asked me the other day, what is 5D? Because I talk about that a lot. And she said, I hear you talk about 5D a lot. She feels like she's awakening. And so, I'll describe it a little bit here because that's what we're moving into. It's really exciting. And it's a way of being. It's like the fifth dimension is a vibration. So it doesn't mean like when we're going into the fifth dimension, or sometimes I talk about the new earth, it doesn't mean that we're going to some other place, it's here. And we just live that. We live that energy. We live in that vibration. So it's a vibration of love and, connection with all things, with the earth. We're connecting with other humans. It's a feeling of freedom and co-creation, that we know how to work with our energy and our emotions and thoughts to co-create our reality. We have a deep spiritual connection. And it's what's been prophesied. This is, the age of Atlantis. The time of Atlantis was when there was a dissension cycle, when it was a time when we had all these amazing skills, but we fell into ego, or the Atlanteans, which a lot of us were in past lives, fell into ego and descended. The opposite is happening now, that we've been in the 3D, which is an age of separation, a time of separation of everything that we know, in the dysfunctional world that we all come from. Capitalism, consumerism is what I meant to say. Just division, greed, competition, just all the things that we're seeing, that 3D world that tries to keep us divided, that tries to keep us in this low vibrational states of anger and fear, really flaring up. And that's because, and I talk about this a lot, but it's good to hear it, I think, again and again, that with so much light that's coming in, that the dark balances, and the dark will flare up and show itself for all the controls, all the manipulation, all the, what's the word? It is nothing but, manipulation of human consciousness that a lot of people are experiencing who are not awakened to what's really going on. It's this massive psychological, just experiment / torture that a lot of us have been going through in the past year and a half. So, but it's not bad, because we're seeing the shadows, we're seeing the darkness, so we can shift out of it. We can say, that is not my reality. We see what's happening, and obviously having compassion for people who are still living in that 3D world, and who still, what's the word? They're still clinging to the 3D world as what they feel safe in. we have compassion for them, because it's not fun being in that world right now. It's a lot of fear, and and a lot of worry, and it's not a fun way to be. So, a lot of us are being pushed out, and that it can feel hard. You're getting pushed out of our jobs, pushed out of old friendships, even our families. But it's like that anything that's not vibrationally aligned with where we are right now, if we're moving into 5D, that's why we feel this separation. It doesn't mean that we can't interact with people who are in 3D. In fact, we know it more and more when you do, because you feel like you're kind of adjusting your vibration to kind of meet them where they're at, to meet them in their version of reality, coming from that heart space. We're not going to say, I was just in this situation just the other day, and people, at this holiday sing-along thing in my old neighborhood, and some people were just telling me things. They have no idea what I really think. They don't follow me. They're not on social media. They don't get my emails, and they're telling me things that just crazy stuff that I just was like, wow. And to me, it sounded crazy. It was just filled with fear and following all the rules that are completely nonsensical. And one person thought I was going to agree with her, and I was just listening. And then, and I was kind of shocked, because I'm not in those situations very much. I was just listening to her, and she was talking about showing her card and getting all the, getting boosted to travel and all this stuff. And I was just listening to it, and then and she was talking about going to Florida, and how Florida, oh gosh, I don't know about Florida. And all I said was, I really love Florida. That's why we went there 3 times this year, because we love it there. And that's what we love about it, is that they don't have all these rules. And she was kind of like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. And she was kind of trying to meet me where I was at. But it was very interesting how I wasn't saying to her, oh, you're wrong, like, why are you doing that nonsense? And I didn't say any of that. I was just listening and not trying to judge her, but trying to meet her where she was at. But I also shared my truth. So anyway, but that's kind of what it can feel like when we're living in 2 different versions of reality. You're like, see it, but you're in a different one. So with the solstice, every year around December 20, it's not always the same time. Actually, is it? I don't know. Maybe it is always December 21st. I'm kidding. There's probably some other time that the solstice happens. So maybe somebody can correct me on this at some point, on different years. But this year, it's December 21st, 12/21/21. And not only is solstice a powerful time because it's the shortest day of the year, the longest night, and it's when the sun begins to return. And the ancient cultures, indigenous people would honor all cycles of nature and really celebrate the return of the sun. But so there's that. And by the way, the ancient peoples were very in touch with galactic beings, extraterrestrials, who would give them all this information, which is how we see all these things, cave drawings and different things. There's a lot of evidence. But now there's also this massive awakening. So it's just more than triple amped up energy. So, and the Pleaidians are some of those loving galactic beings that are also here to help us, usher us into 5D, and to then go back. I always see this in the Akashic Records, to go back and forth over the rainbow bridge is what I view it as. Like, you're literally in 5D in this version of reality that, just feels like it's how you feel and how you operate. And then, we walk back over that bridge, and you kind of help other people move into 5D by just, sometimes we give them information. Sometimes we just help them, see things from a different perspective. Sometimes it's nothing at all. Sometimes we don't, say anything because they're not ready, but it's just trusting our heart to guide us, to be of service to those who are awakening. And for some people, somebody said to me, or I heard this in a few places, that Christmas isn't actually Jesus's birthday, and it has nothing, that it's not true. And that may be true. That may be true, because there's a lot of manipulation. However, I was like, oh, but I like singing Christmas carols, and I like, even though some of it's just, totally silly, like there's a feeling of just joy with the Christmas tree and like how much my kids love it. And so part of me is like, but I don't want to let go of that. I want to keep that, even though I know that well, we all know the Santa thing, but there's a lot that's been skewed. But still, I was like, but I don't care. I'm gonna still kind of embody these traditions. And so that, if we think of it that, that's what a lot of people are doing right now. They're like, they see maybe what's happening, but it's too much to just be like, well, that means I have to change everything in my life. And this is what feels comfortable to me. So I don't want to do that. Some people are just saying, no, I see it, but I'm not going to see it. I don't want to see it. So I'm going to pretend I didn't see it. That's happening more and more. And today I had this interesting, that analogy. I was like, okay, I kind of see how this can happen, because I was feeling that way about Christmas. All right, so let's do a meditation with some energy, because the solstice energy is with us, not just on the solstice, but around, before the solstice, just all, the few weeks before, the few weeks after. It's just really powerful energy. So I'm going to just invoke light. I'm trying to find my headphones so I can make it. I might actually use this and put it on my podcast this time as a meditation to listen to again. So, I'll probably not, I'll be quiet for more of this than I normally am, because I think the light will do its work without me speaking through it. All right, just plug this in. So whenever you're ready, you can close your eyes and take a deep breath in. Slow exhale. Take another few deep breaths. Breathing in a lot of energy and holding it, expanding into your body, into your heart. Slowly exhaling out. One more deep breath. Filling up your lungs, filling your whole upper body with light. And then just slowly, slowly letting go, letting your body just sink in, allowing anything that is not needed or wanted in your body to just float out, to be released somehow as you exhale. Now just breathe. Notice the air, how it's flowing. Just begin to allow your mind to clear. All you're doing is just observing. The rise and fall of your chest, the expansion and deflation of your belly. And imagine that as you breathe in, just like blowing on a fire to give the fire oxygen, to fan the flames, to make them grow. On your next breath in, imagine that you're bringing in light, that you're invoking light, that you're blowing on your inner flame, and just igniting the light within, in your heart, around your heart. And when you exhale, imagine that that light is beginning to spread through your body. And in your next inhale, imagine that the light is now you're allowing it to enter in through the top of your head. Maybe it comes in from other places too, flows down through your body, flows out through the bottoms of your feet, up through the feet. And the light is just encircling you now. It's flowing, circulating through your body. And imagine now that bring your awareness to the night sky, to the stars, to the planets, to the moon, how bright it shines sometimes. So a full moon like we've had recently, illuminating the earth. And you know that in that night sky, there's other sources of light. We may not see these sources of light, and they come from very far away, from different dimensions, but we can feel that light. We can feel it in the form of energy. Just like when we know it's a full moon, that it's intense, we can feel the intensity. And when we're not fully conscious of it, it can feel a little off-putting. It's different. But when we pause and we just say, this is an energetic upgrade that I'm receiving. I'm receiving downloads. You're receiving light that is elevating you into higher levels of consciousness. But it's not as simple as that. Because when we move into higher frequencies from 3D to 4D to 5D, there can be heaviness that holds us. And that heaviness is in the form of limiting thoughts and beliefs about who we are, about our worthiness, about our abilities, fears of being judged, doubting ourselves, doubting even our connection to source from childhood, from past lives on this planet and other planets. And so in order to ascend and to fully expand into the light, because Earth is already doing it. Earth is Mother Earth, Gaia, she's moving into 5D. She's a lot in it already. And we're just going along for the ride, many of us, humans. So to adjust to that frequency, we have to let go of this baggage. How do we let go of it? We need to bring it out to the surface. It's been buried, and we need to uncover it. We need to dig it up, bring it out, and then maybe decide if we want to let go of it and take time to begin to ready ourselves to release it. Just like digging up trash on a beach that's been buried by the sand. When we get that trash out, maybe part of us is attached to it. Maybe it reminds us of something that is comfortable, but we realize that it's not serving us. And so we need to release it. We need to get rid of it. And that is what we're doing now. And we're doing that in our individual lives. And we're doing that as a collective human race. So I'm going to be quiet now and I'd like you to allow this light coming in from very far away, from the Pleiades especially. Notice if the light shows up as a particular color for you, if there's a feeling for you, and allow that light to wash through your body like a waterfall, cleansing and clearing. Maybe you feel it as like a laser that's just burning things away. Maybe it's like a vacuum cleaner that sucks things out. However it feels to you, just allow this light to move and do its work. So let's take a moment and feel that light flowing through your body, through every cell, through all your bones and your bloodstream, circulating around like a river, cleansing and washing away any debris that is no longer serving you. Let's take a moment here. Feel that light pushing out what is not of service any longer for you. Like a current that carries any obstruction in its way. Allow it to flood through you, washing away the stuckness, anything that is not who you are any longer. You are remembering how powerful you are as a divine being of light, a piece of God, an expression of source energy. And you are learning to embody this expression just as Jesus did, and as many other ascended masters did, who walked this earth and who ascended beyond the lower self, beyond the ego. It's time for us to move beyond. Have no fear. You will always be guided and supported every step of the way. And you're not alone. All the light workers listening to this, all the awakened souls around the planet are doing this too. So many of us. So many. So exciting. When you see the 3D world with its constant efforts to suck us back in, because that's what it does, just observe it. It's not your reality. You have compassion for those who are still living that reality. And we pray for them. We ask them to feel light, to feel this energy in some ways. Many of them are. I don't care what they put in their bodies, doesn't matter. They're still one with the light, and the body can heal. So we who fully know, who were a little earlier to the party, we are here to be of service to them, to help them, to sit with them, to hold space for them, to remind them that it's going to be okay. And so just feel this light continuing to flow through you and circling around you, and allow it to just allow yourself to be just bathed in this. It's like you're sitting in a bath for a long time, just being immersed in a bath, knowing that this light is still here for you, and you can just now consciously be aware of it, especially in the coming weeks, days especially. And just allow it to soak in, allow and consciously intend to receive this light in the highest possible way that benefits you and your ascension process. If you want to bring your hands in prayer position to your heart center, you can do that, or over your heart, or whatever you're comfortable with. Just taking a moment to give thanks, to honor our Pleiadian ancestors, our Pleiadian family, for being here with us. They're so happy to do so. To thank them for showing us the way, for giving us support, and honor any other guides and beings of light, angels that are with you, that are connected to divine source. May we find peace and compassion and joy, even in times of darkness. It seems like darkness. And find, above all, hope. And share that hope. May it be so, and so it is. So you can get ready to come back into your body, stretching out, moving your hands and feet. And open your eyes. All right. Hopefully that was helpful in some way. It's just an incredible time to be alive, really. It's really amazing. And just, I'm going to take some time off. I probably won't do the meditation next Wednesday, the 29th. It's the day before my birthday, which is the 30th, and I'll be 44, which is a cool angel number. So I'm just going to leave you with a few remaining thoughts. Notice what emotions you start to feel. I know there's a lot of people who are awakened who are in anger and fear. Because the 3D is acting up so much. And so, it's normal to feel those things, right? Totally normal. But there's a lot of, even like people, spiritual teachers I respect, who are still in the fear and anger. And I certainly do that too sometimes. I'm not, I'm guilty of that, or I say I experience that. But when we become aware of the emotions that we're feeling, it's like just noticing, is this really serving me? And does this need to be my reality? Because it's tricky. If we believe that it is our reality, if we allow our emotions to get sucked in, then it can become our reality. So rising above, disengaging, unplugging, you can see, I see what you're trying to do, but it doesn't matter. I am free, I'm sovereign, I create my own reality. And you write it down, positive present tense, how you want to be, how you want to feel, that's creating a positive vibration. And then you start to live in this whole little alternate universe, and it's only a matter of time until your external reality reflects your internal reality. It works, I promise. Sometimes it takes some time to clear the ego. All right, I think that's all I'm going to say. I did share this a little bit. If I'm doing this, I'm not on the ball with these things. I just don't think of them until the last minute. But if I'm doing discounts for guidance sessions, if anybody's interested, I think the coupon code is receive, $20 off. So go to my website under soulfulworkconsulting.com. And if you want to get support, reading, Akashic Records reading, intuitive coaching session, past life regression, hypnotherapy, those are all the things I do, just clearing out the ego. Really, that's a big part of it. How to clear out the ego with specific tools, reframing the thoughts, moving past the inner critic voice. I also do guided imagery, connecting with the inner child sometimes, and parts therapy, which is, reconciling these different parts in us. So there's a lot of different things that I do with people, and it's, it depends on what the person is interested in. A lot of people want Akashic Records readings, which is, I love it because it's so powerful to get information about our soul and our purpose, and what we're working on in lessons and what our past lives have been, or at least a few of them. Connecting with our ancestors, just very healing. So anyway, if you're interested, you know where to find me. Gift to yourself for the new year to start off on a positive note, or if you wanted to offer one to a family member, if you're last minute gift giver like I am, I'll put the link in here after. All right. Ooh, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy solstice. Much love to you all. Thanks for being here. Bye.